Hello children, hope you are all safe at home and at the same time you are concentrating on your studies too, right? The studies should go on, there should not be a stop. This is a time when we are all battling against coronavirus, but still the life should go on. So this is the channel, Mount Carmel channel, we are utilizing for learning and for teaching purpose, and it's really wonderful to teach you this way, because anytime, wherever, whenever you get time, you can just open and just listen to your favorite lesson. So today I'm going to pick the next poem, children, the Drum Dream Girl. That is the next poem after third lesson or from the literature book class 8. The Drum Dream Girl by Margaret Eng II. This is a poem I'm going to teach you today. It's really very interesting, children. You are going to really have fun and you are going to enjoy it. Why? Because it's a message giving poem and it's really very interesting. Why it's interesting? Because it is about the girl power. It's a real story. It's a story about the African Cuba girl who wanted to change the tradition in Cuba. Because there was a time in 1932, only boys were given importance. Boys were supposed to go to school. Girls were not allowed to do anything against the rule. Right? So this was the time when a girl wanted to stick to her passion and she wanted to fight against this tradition. So this Drum Dream Girl is in a poetic, rhythmic way, and the poetess has reflected her idea in a beautiful way to convey the message in a poetic form to you. And it has a high diction and at the same time rhythmic pitch and good dynamics to reach the readers in a very impressive way. Right? So what is the content of the poem, children? The Drum Dream Girl by Margaret Eng II. So the content is, it's about a girl, Salgeriaga, okay, Mildo Castro Salgeriaga. She was a girl who had the passion for beating the drum, right, boom, boom, boom drum. And she had in her dream Congo drums, bongo drums and timbales. She wanted to play those like the boys do. She was so engrossed and inclined towards playing drums. But the poor fellow could not. She had to step back. Why? Because in Cuba, the girls were not allowed to play drums. Right? There was an island of music in the city of Cuba. Okay? In the city of drum beats, it's explained. It's mentioned in the poem. So when I'm just reading out and explaining the poem, all the students of class 8, please open the book and open to the page number, the poem on an island of music, that is the Drum Dream Girl, and you have to just scroll along the lines and understand each line. Okay, so this is the theme of the poem is how girls can be really powerful. How can they come out of their pathetic situation of just confining themselves to the four walls of the house. Right? So here the Cuban African girl Salgeriaga, she had the passion of beating the drum. Why it was a passion? Because she was bent on becoming a drummer, because she found music in everything. She heard music everywhere and she just kept on beating, or even on chairs and tables at home. Everyone realized that she had that caliber of beating the drum, but no one wanted to foster her, to encourage her to come up with a talent with flying colors. Right? So I'm going to read the first stanza. I'll tell you the first stanza of the poem. On the island of music, in the city of drum beats, the drum dream girl dreamed. Okay, this is the first stanza. On the island of music. It was the island of music because everywhere the music was heard. It was a beautiful music, a beautiful city too, right? Because everywhere music was heard, the nature was intact, and even the woodpecker, the chirping of the birds, everything had music in it. It filled the land with really mystical magic. So the girl, the drum dream girl, dreamed what she dreamed. of the pounding tall conga drums, the tapping small bongo drums and the conga drums. She dreamt of these things. Why? Because her passion was music. And boom, boom, booming. This is a sound word. See, the diction is so beautifully used in this poem, and these words are called as onomatopoeia. This poem has many onomatopoeia words, like sound words, like boom, tish, pish, hush, thud. These are all sound words, right? So this is one of the figures of speech, and here it is in abundance being used. Okay, so the second stanza, it is telling of what the girl is dreaming about. The girl is dreaming of the pounding tall conga drums and the tapping small bongo drums, and boom, boom, booming. That sound is being echoing and looming around in the ears of the child with long loud sticks. With the sticks, what she is dreaming? She is dreaming that somebody is just beating the drums, and on the big round silvery moon bright timbales. And if you see, timbales is a single headed drum with silvery casing. Okay, that is called timbales. This is another kind of drum. And if you see the description given here, see here the timbales is being compared to moon bright, moon. So this is a metaphor here. So when I am just mentioning you about the figures of speech, you need to underline it. So here I told you onomatopoeia, that is a sound word, and even it has imagery, beautiful usage of diction, reflecting and representing a pictorial view in the minds of the readers. So this is metaphor. What is the metaphor here? The timbales, the musical instrument, the drum with the silver casing is being compared with the moon. Okay, that is a metaphor. But everyone, so she kept on dreaming. The drum dream girl kept on dreaming, but everyone on the island of music, they believed that only boys could play the drums. So the poor pity drum dream girl, she kept dreaming quiet, very secretly. She had to suppress her dream, right? Because no one believed that girls also could play. But the drum dream girl's passion was suppressed because of this belief. So she kept on dreaming, she kept on playing the drum, timbales, conga and bongo, secretly drumbeat dreams. So this is called drumbeat dreams. What dreams she had? She had drumbeat dreams, beating the drum always in a dream. That is called as drumbeat dreams. It is mentioned in the paragraph. Okay, when you just read it along with me, you will understand. Next stanza says, where she is beating her drum in her dream at outdoor cafes looking like gardens. In the outdoor cafes that look like gardens, in the cafe, right, in a restaurant or in an open restaurant, she dreamt that she was beating the drums, right, that looked like gardens. That cafe actually looked like gardens. So like word is used here. So like word, when it is used for comparison, the cafe is here compared to gardens. So again, this is one of the figures of speech which is called a simile. Metaphor is comparison without the use like. And here looked like gardens. What looked like gardens? The outdoor cafe where she dreamt that she was beating the drums. Okay, she heard the drums played by men. She heard in her dream, she just dreamt that the outdoor cafe that looked like a garden where men were sitting around and playing and beating the drum. But when she closed her eyes, it was in a dream, okay? It was in a reverie that, wherever she just, dreamt of music and the drum beats, she found only men. But when she closed her eyes, what is the meaning? A symbolic meaning of closed her eyes means she is symbolically imagining herself to be the drum beater. Okay, so when she closed her eyes, she imagined her own music. She could also hear her imaginary music when she walked under the wind-wavy palm trees. Wind-wavy palm trees. Okay, wind-wavy, that is WW. Okay, WW. So there are such usages here in the poem. You can call it alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is the two words or many words used on the same line having the same letter. Okay, so that is called as alliteration. Here, wind, wavy, palm trees. When she walked. Here also there is one figure. So when she walked. Where any line in the poem is beginning with a subordinating clause or a subordinating conjunction, when it can be taken as anaphora. What it is? Anaphora. That is one of the figures of speech. And on the second line too, you can say wind, wavy. That is alliteration. In a flower bright park. Again, when she walked, she was dreaming about many things. Okay, when she was walking under the wind wavy palm trees in the bright flowery park, then too she heard every music that she could hear in the nature. Even the whir of the parrot wing, the wings, it was just fluttering, and even that sound she could hear. Okay, that is her imagination, because music was her passion. Right? So the whir of, see how beautifully the diction has been inserted by the poetess. See, it is giving a pictorial representation. So this is full of imagery too. Okay, imagery means that will create a pictorial representation in the mind of the readers when they read the poem. Okay, so what she heard the whir of the parrot wings, and she also hears the clack of the woodpecker beaks. The beak, it is sound word. See, whir of. That sound is whir of parrot wings, and the clack. The woodpecker would make that sound when it pecks, right? So that is also sound word. So these are onomatopoeia. What it is? Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. That is a sound word. The dancing tap of her own footsteps. So in the midst of all these sounds, she also hears her own footsteps, because she lives in a world, imaginary world of music. Her figment of imagination takes her far and wide. Okay, so dancing tap, her own dancing tap she hears to that music she hears of the whir of parrot wings and the clack of the woodpecker beaks and the comforting pat. Even her heartbeat she could hear. See, such was her interest and inclination towards music that she could hear even the heartbeat of her own heartbeat. See how beautiful? It was comforting her. Her heartbeat was comforting her, because she was satisfying herself by her own, the tap of her footsteps and the whir of the parrot wings, the fluttering of the parrot wings. See how beautifully it has been used. And in the next paragraph, stanza, if you see, then wherever she went to the bright flowery park, okay, under the wind wavy palm trees. There she could hear the whir of parrot wings. Now in the next stanza, it is described as at carnivals, that is at celebration, like at the celebration or festive gatherings, she listened to the rattling beat of towering dancers on the stilts. She could hear at festivals, when the dancers were when dancers dance on the platform. What kind of platform it was? It was stilt. What is the meaning of stilt? You can just check in your book. You will just find the meaning. The two poles which has a support for the feet. Okay, so that is called a stilt. So on the stilt she could see the dancers tapping. Okay, she could hear the sound, rattling beat. That's called rattling sound. So that is all the sound words. Remember, my children, that is onomatopoeia. Okay, so rattling sound when the dancers were dancing on the stilts. Okay, and the dragon clang of costume drummers wearing huge masks. See, even the what attracted and fascinated her, only one thing really fascinated her: the drummers. Okay, the dragon clang means the costumed, the theme based, celebrations. Okay, the dragon, they had worn the masks, the drummers on the stage where the dancers were dancing. At home, then the music did not stop for her. Everywhere it continued. It chased her. It followed her. Right? It did not stop anywhere. Like, even at festival she went, she could hear the music. In the park she went, she could hear some music of the, birds. And Even at home, what did she do? She lived in her own imaginary world of music. Her fingertips, it rolled out their own dreamy drum rhythm on tables and chairs. Even at home, she was not quiet. She went on playing and beating where her fingertips, because music was in her heart, music was in her thought. She went on beating everywhere on tables and chairs. Her fingertips rolled over on the chairs and the tables. And even though everyone knew that she was calibrous, kept reminding that girls were not allowed to play the drum. Everyone reminded her that no, you cannot do it because you cannot get a chance, because girls here in Cuba are not supposed to play. But still on the island of music have never played drums. Who have never played drums? Girls. But the drum dream girl played. She was not quiet. She was not ready to accept because she was not able to resist herself. It was her passion, my dear friends. Isn't it? Passion. How passion can be suppressed? We have the right to showcase our passion. The same happened to the dream drum girl. The next stanza tells, the brave drum dream girl dared to play, but she tried to come out of it courageously even though everyone stopped her. Dared to play. Tall conga drums, small bonga drums, and the big round. This is called as refrain. Right, like these lines we have read in the first stanza too. Right? What she dreamt of? She dreamt of the tall pounding conga drums and the small tapping bongo drums. Right? We have just read it in the first stanza on the first page too. So this is repetition. Repetition means the same lines. If it is used 2 or 3 times in the poem, then that is called as refrain. R-E-F-R-A-I-N. That is one of the figures of speech. You can just note it down. Okay. Tall conga drums, small bongo drums, and big round silvery timbales. Moon bright timbales. This is repetition. These 3-4 lines are getting repeated in the poem. I think 3 or 4 times. So this can be taken as refrain. Okay. Then the next stanza, it is describing her hands seem to fly. It just went around. Wherever she listened to the music, it went around, rippled and rapped and pounded all the rhythms. She could hear and feel and sense every kind of music, and her fingertips kept on moving. Her body moved, rippled. Rippled means it moved around and round and round. Okay, it rippled. These are all sound words. Children, you should understand every stanza has sound words. See, the rich diction which has been used by the poet is here in the poem. It is enhancing the beauty of the island of music, right? So that is the theme of the poem. If you see the beauty and the passion is getting highlighted by the diction. Okay, so rapped and pounded all the rhythms of her drum dreams. Again, alliteration, drum dreams. Then what happened? Her big sisters were so excited whenever she played, whenever she just rippled, whenever she moved around, whenever her fingertips moved and rattled on the chairs and the tables. Her sisters were very excited. They invited her to join their girls' band group, the all-girl dance band group. But that was very famous in Cuba those days. Okay, with the name of this, that's not mentioned in the poem, children. You can just note it down. I'll just send you the notes later on. So Anaconda was the name of the girl music band. Her sisters had one music band. Okay, so they wanted her to join the music band by just seeing her interest, by seeing her passion, by seeing her so much inclination and passion for music. Okay, her sisters wanted her to join in the music band, that is Anaconda. But their father said again, only the boys should play drums. Only boys were support. Father was not ready to support. Her sisters though invited her to join the girls band group, but father reminded again, only boys should play the drum. So the drum dream girl kept dreaming all alone. What to do? Father is not supporting, people are not supporting, only sisters invited her, right? Until finally her father offered to find a music teacher. How can a girl without mastering the music play the drum on big stages? So immediately father offered and arranged one music teacher to train her to play the drum. Is it possible this girl is bent on to be a musician? Right? It was in her blood. It was in her thought. It was in her mind. It was in her heart. So nobody can change it. So who could decide if her drums deserved to be heard? Now teacher was being called so that the teacher could find out whether she was really deserving to be a drummer. The drum dream girl's teacher was amazed to see her interest and talent. The girl knew so much, but he taught her more and more and more. Just see 3 times. Why the words are getting repeated in the poem? What do you think, children? The words, when it is getting repeated in the poem, that means that it is trying, the poetess is trying to create an impact on the readers when they read. Okay, that portion is being highlighted. So the teacher was amazed. Already she was talented. The girl was found so much talented. But still the teacher taught her more and more and more. Then she did not deny. She practiced and practiced and practiced. Again in the next line, see. It's a big poem, it's a very long one, but don't worry, it's so interesting to read. When you read every stanza, you will understand and you will enjoy. So next lines are, she practiced and she practiced and she practiced when the master taught her more and more and more, until the teacher agreed once, yes, the girl was ready to play her bongo drums. Outdoors, were not at home. Outdoors at the starlit cafe that was already in her dream. Like whatever she dreamt of, what was it? She dreamt of men playing drums on an open restaurant. Like moon bright, like that was compared to moon, right? So outdoors at starlit cafe and looked like a garden. So the same as she dreamt of, she was deserving. Who declared it? Master declared that until the teacher agreed that she was ready to play the drum, bongo drum, outdoors at starlit cafe that looked like a garden. Wherever everyone who heard her dream bright music sang. So all the people were mesmerized to listen to the music of the girl, the music played by the girl. Everyone started dancing, decided that the girls now should be allowed to play the drum. Okay, and both the girls and boys should feel free. So that was the end of the story of the girl who changed the tradition in Cuba in 1932. See, only one girl, just because of her passion, she stood alone and she kept on. She was not ready to change her passion, but she wanted the people to change for her passion. Right? That really happened. And that was so beautiful that she got a chance at the last, and she could mesmerize all the people by the power of her music on the island of music. On the island of music, boys were supposed to play? No. At the end, she proved that not only boys, even girls could play so efficiently like boys on the island of music to mesmerize people. I hope this poem is so much clear to you. All the best, children. Thank you.